Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the Attraction Advantage podcast, where my name is Russ Lagan, and I've got the one and only one of my favorite dudes in the entire world, Frank Panuto, joining me. Hey, Frank.
What's happening, Russell? How you doing, buddy?
It's today. So, we're doing, some of those days you wake up and you just don't got it and you just do it anyway. And that's kind of the mode I'm in. I'm sure other people here are like, I don't want to get out of bed today. That was me this morning. But, hey, I'm excited because we've got a great show lined up for today.
We have an awesome show lined up, and before we do that, kudos to you. You've been putting out some unbelievable videos on your channel and on YouTube that I would recommend everybody kind of tune into. The material you're putting out is awesome, Russ. So really helpful. I've been getting feedback from people of all different companies that are looking at your stuff, and keep on keeping on, brother, because I think
Usually,
you're helping the whole real estate community. I appreciate that.
dang, does that guy dress like that every day? And here, t-shirt.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a bunch of people like, I don't think I've ever seen you without a vest and a tie on. But hey, sometimes it's t-shirt day. So today's t-shirt day, Frank. Hey,
exactly.
what's really cool is not only do we have an amazing guest today
Yeah.
with Jason Justek, but then we've got Ian Main out of Spain. Dude, we got international today talking about attraction and growth and all that stuff. I'm super excited to watch this conversation break down today because, I don't know a whole lot of people international.
No, these two guys are great, and they're part of our mastermind group that we have on a weekly basis. But yeah, Ian Main making it rain in Spain, brother. Ian's the real deal. And his journey's been kind of cool too because we kind of started hot and had a little bit of a lull, but he just keeps plugging in. She's going in this
Yeah,
direction. So
yeah,
why don't
it's
we
cool.
bring the boys on?
Yeah, jump
Uh,
on in.
yeah, I mean these are two phenomenal guys. There's my man Jason Justak, also
There you
known as
go.
JJ in the real estate world, and there's Ian Main. What's happening, Ian?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Great to be
Good,
here.
good
We're
day.
doing
How are
awesome.
you
Thank
guys
you guys for joining us today. It's a really interesting story. So what Russ and I talk about all the time is age of attraction, right? And
doing?
your guys' story is super cool in that as you give us a little background to see how we can connect internationally when it seems like such a far-fetched idea, it's really not as hard as it sounds, is it? So Jason, why don't you say hello and kind of give us a little background?
Hey, guys. Hey, thanks so much for having myself as well as Ian on. We're excited to be part of this. Ian and I have become great friends, and we're going to dive into that here shortly, too. And man, it's one of those things. Do you believe it? I'm almost getting 10 years into the real estate business, and my journey began back down in Tennessee. Started down there and just kind of was doing my thing, started my book of business. And then I had a change of plans to kind of shift that, leave that book of business. My kids were coming into my world. I had a lot of things on my mind. I said, well, hey, honey, why don't we go ahead and move back to Indiana and close this book of business and open up a new book of business? And my wife went for it, and we started and we took off, man. And it's been an amazing adventure over the last 10 years in real estate. And now that I get to be friends and partners with a guy like Ian Main, it just gets me excited every day. So I'm just ready to dive in today, Frank and Russ. So yeah, just keep bringing me questions, man.
Well, I mean, you had a heck of if you think about it, to go from Tennessee to Indiana where you didn't really know anybody, that's a whole nother set of challenges, let alone the growth part of it. But how'd you adjust to that?
So, you have to go back to basics and just really dive into who you can and what you do know. And it was that small community, just getting out
Mhm.
there. I had a great friend here that who was also in real estate. His name's Jason Miller, and he just helped me. And it was that collaboration to say, "Hey, man, I'm not going to let you fall." He kind of did that trust fall on me, and he caught me. So it was really cool. And man, we just took off. And so that was the biggest thing of just dive deep. I love my work ethic. I would work till I die. But God gave me my wife and kids, so I do slow down on that aspect. But when it was time to go, especially starting new, it was go time. And that's what I did. And then things just opened up. We joined a brokerage that was cloud based that just kind of opened up doors. And I am talking about EXP, but one of the big things people talked about was, hey, you could meet more people and bring them on. And what was interesting to me is because I used to work in hospitality business before real estate, okay? And I always thought about, man, I always brought my friends into wait tables, be a sous chef, be a co-manager, whatever it was. I was always thinking, man, I would love to work with him and her in my profession. And then when that door opened up in real estate for me, a huge light bulb went off. And that's where I'm like, all right, now I'm going to look at it at a different perspective. One, I'm going to look at real estate. Two, I'm older, slightly more mature. And now I could kind of hit that leather off the ball at this point and think outside the box, because now we have the internet and I've got ways to connect with people. And that's when Iain and I have met, because we were both on Facebook, and he could tell us his side of the story too. He was trying to get me to buy some advertising. He does some real estate marketing via Facebook and social media platforms.
Right, but I want to interrupt you because I don't want to get into that part yet. I don't want to get there yet, because we're going to get to that part. That's where it gets really interesting. So,
okay,
Iain, tell us a little bit about your background, and let the people know what your journey looked like.
Yeah, so this is where things kind of start to tie in with Jason when I come into the story here. But yeah, so I born and raised in Scotland, northeast of Scotland, and I moved to Spain when I was 14 years old. And it's really surprising. I find so many similarities to my story and Jason's story. I also worked bars and restaurants for a long time, and I did things backwards. So I had a kid and then I got married. And I working where I was working, that kind of line of business is, I always say it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. It took over my whole life. When I got home, it was like the baby was sleeping, and then I'd go back to work. Then I'd get back home early hours of the morning. Baby was sleeping again. Then I had to go back to the work, before he woke up. So I was like, I needed a change. So I made a change, and no word of a lie, I kind of accidentally fell into real estate. I wasn't a sales agent to begin with. I was selling over the phone for a real estate investment company. And then eventually I did. It kind of opened my eyes a little bit to it, and I was interested in it, and I joined a large brokerage here in Spain. Well, they're international, but I joined them, and that was my first kind of time getting into this whole thing, which was very difficult because I had no experience, didn't know what I was doing, kind of thing. But one of the ways that I kind of learned how to get clients for myself was through digital marketing, and specifically Facebook ads, which I kind of got okay at, kind of decent at. So what happened was I kind of stepped away from real estate because I wasn't really having a good time at that particular brokerage. And there was a severe lack of support for me as a brand new agent. And I kind of focused on this real estate marketing side of thing. And it kind of, I'm still doing that to this day. And this is kind of where things tie together now. I ended up creating a course, and I would sell like a Facebook ads, digital marketing kind of course for realtors. And I was trying to sell that, and I was reaching out to people on social media, trying to get them as clients for my, coaching kind of program or my course. And Jason was one of those agents. So I initiated contact with Jason, like, hey, I do advertising for agents. Would you be interested? Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, hey, I'm in EXP. And that's where the conversation started. And here we are, 3 and a bit years later. We talk every day like we're just across the road from each other. I'm in Spain, he's in Indiana in the US. And we have a great team between the two of us. And it's that's how it happened. I was trying to sell him something and he sold me something. So
let's be clear here. I'm in Michigan and he's in Indiana, and we still think Indiana is a foreign country.
Well, there you go. And it was, I have that similar kind of background in the sense that you moved from one place to another and you kind of started fresh. Fair enough, I was a lot younger at the time. I was only 14 when I moved to Spain, but I always find it fascinating when we hear your story, although I've heard it a bunch of times, how similar it can be sometimes, and then how two people like us ended up coming together and creating business.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think is like the biggest challenge you face right now? Like today in doing this attraction game, like what's the number one challenge?
Jason, you want that one?
I say follow up. That's I think that's the biggest because everybody in this world is on a different path.
Yeah,
And they may have a plan to where they want to go and they may not see the side streets that they need to go to get there a little bit quicker or just to get there a little bit better. And so that's where I want to come and help people. And I know Ian does the same thing. How can we help with that plan? And then how can we help more people and grow our capacity to help even more? And then yet loop back in and say,
yeah,
oh man, I forgot about Joe back here, and I forgot about Sally back here, and oh, let me jump in and let me get them back on board. So
Yeah.
you try a trust piece, but that follow up is really challenging.
yeah, absolutely. I think,
So
I think the thing that we think it's attraction is no different than doing regular sales, right? The
right.
money's in the follow up in regular sales. The money's in the follow up in attraction. And I think we think, oh, you're going to talk to somebody and then you're going to be top of mind. Well, you're top of mind while you're talking to them. 20 minutes later, they go down a rabbit hole. 3 days later, they're like, what was that guy, Justin Justak, something or other? And I can't remember that guy's name. I'm going to mispronounce it 18 times. I didn't get
Right.
his name right at all. So
Right.
it's that inertia of it's just easier to do nothing many times than to do something. So, just like with the law of inertia, until an object at rest gets something pushing on it, nudging it in the right direction. And that's all follow up is just making that little push and making that little nudge. And eventually you get it to the point where it's at the cliff and it's like, fine. And then, man, it's off to the races. But that inertia it's just normal. It's human. And if you know that, then build a plan for that. You have a lot better success long term. What do
Yeah,
you
and I
think?
think I think he touches on a very important point too, that everybody's in a different spot in their journey.
Yeah.
So, I think when it comes to age and attraction, meeting people where they are, we talk about it all the time, Ross, you and I,
Yeah.
is the most critical part of it. And then keeping that all straight, right?
Yeah.
That's when it really starts with the file, like, oh my, where were they in their journey? So I mean, Ian, how do you find it in Spain? Is it different than are your challenges any different than what we're seeing here?
Um, I think that at the end of the day, humans are humans. Doesn't matter where you are. But I would say the biggest difference here in Spain than to the US is that we're still quite young here. EXP, and specifically, he's only been here for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I can use that. It's kind of like I see it as a gold mine. It's something new. People don't know about it, so just kind of get the word out, and that's it. I speak like it's really easy thing to do. Jason's challenge was to follow up. Mine is like that first point of contact. So mine's like the very, very first step.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. I mean, if you can do it there, you can do it here, and vice versa. I think that at the end of the day, we do the same job. We all work with humans, and they all kind of react the same way to certain things, and whether that's sales and marketing, whatever. So, yeah, I don't think that there's a huge difference. It's just I think that in the US, a lot of people are already know of it and have heard of it maybe multiple times a day, every week since 2009. Whereas here, it's not like that. So I'd say that's
Yeah.
the biggest.
So a lot of people, have you guys read the book Blue Ocean Theory? Have you guys read
Mhm.
that?
I
Basically,
know.
I'll summarize the whole book for you. It's super simple, right? It's like if you're gonna go fishing, do you want to go fish where there's a bunch of blood in the water and 100,000 other boats trying to catch those same four fish that aren't chewed up, or do you want to just take that boat and drive it out where there's no blood in the water,
Right.
nobody else around? So, Ian, you have a rare opportunity in that
Right.
you're in a blue ocean market. The challenge with blue ocean market is we have no idea what's biting. We have no idea what they're going to bite on. We have no
Right.
idea what the size of it is. Do we need the big reel? Do we need the small reel? I don't know. Let's start with a couple of small fish. And once you get a couple of small fish, you can take those, chunk them up, and catch bigger fish.
Right.
Obviously, I'm
Right.
not condoning chunking up agents, but you see what I mean.
No,
Yeah, but I
100%.
think the mindset that you're trying to get to, Russ, is super important to talk about, right? So,
100%.
Ian could have been like, there's not enough here. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I'm
Yeah,
not going to try.
yeah,
Or to his credit, I see an opportunity. And
yeah,
I
Right.
think, the reason why I was asking if there's a difference between Spain and Indiana, there is no difference.
yeah,
Even though there's this big world and we're so far apart and 6 hours apart and miles and this, the bottom line is we all face the same challenges.
yeah.
So if you just buckle your chin strap, you have the right mindset, you go do it. I think anything's possible. I mean,
That's
at
true.
any point, Jason, did you think that you would have a partner on the other side of the world from Indiana?
Hell no.
Right. And did you even think
Man,
it was possible, right?
what's that?
And did you even think it was possible?
No, I never did. And I grew up in Northwest Indiana, and now I'm in Westfield, which is just north of Indianapolis. And I always say, I was this little boy from Northwest Indiana, and to be able to own a business is one thing, but then to take that business and go global is a whole nother aspect. And if you would have told me uh, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, I would have said, no way, that's never going to happen. And yet those doors opened, and then it did. And now, not only is it on a business piece, but now I have an amazing friend. Like Ian said, we literally talk every day. He's my first text message every day. I'm like, hey man, what's up? What's going on in your world? Seeing what's happening. We continue our relationship, and that's where I like Ian said that. Hey, we're humans being humans, and Ian and I continue to build our relationship. From 3.5 years ago till today, we're still building a relationship and enhancing it each and every day too. And for that, I love it, and I love the opportunity that Ian being a partner of ours.
That's fantastic. Do you guys find there's a language barrier between the two of you? Because like I could barely understand what Ian's saying.
I'm going easy. I'm going easy on the accent today.
Hey, Ian, he says the same thing to me for being from the Northeast with my garbled enunciation to his
What country are you
West
from,
Coast. We
Frank?
have the same issue.
I'll tell you this, guys. I think I lucked out by running into Ian because, yeah, he's this Irish guy that lives in Spain that speaks English. What
Yeah.
I think I won the lottery that day.
He's
because I don't know.
Scottish. Oh, you're dead. You're dead to him now. He's
Yeah.
Scottish.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The Irish are like cousins to me. The English,
Scottish. I meant Scottish. Yeah, yeah.
So as you guys continue to build this brand globally now, because you're right, you now have an international pipeline. So what does that look like for you guys moving forward? What how do you see this going, and what are some of the things you're gonna kind of install into your plan for agent attraction?
Well, I can chime in here because so currently I have agents in 5 countries. We're in
Wow,
Spain, Portugal, Chile, Mexico, and the US. And
awesome.
my plan initially is to one cover 100% of Spanish territory. So like have agents all over Spain, so that I can refer to my own if I need to, or have my agents work with each other.
Right.
Not excluding any other EXP agents, obviously, but that's just a goal that I thought sounded nice. And then also I want to I would like to have and support a leader in each of the countries that we're currently in. Obviously, if somebody else joins from another country, then that's just adding another one on. But yeah, have a leader in each country that can carry the champions, brand international and just take it to the next level. So
I like that you're saying your first goal is to get like Spain. Let's get Spain covered, right? And I think a lot of people will say, I want to have multiple baskets. And you go back to the Rockefeller days, and he'll say something like, "Hey, like everybody says, don't ever put all your eggs in one basket." He says, I'll tell you, put all your eggs in one basket and watch it like a hawk. But the reality is like that building outside. I hear people do this all the time. They're like, I don't want to build in my own city. I'm like, that's the easiest place to build because you have a certain amount of commonality and you can deliver and add value that's very personal to your individual market, very personal to your country versus trying to like, what the heck are they talking about in Mexico? I don't know. It makes it a lot harder to work there. I'm not saying you can't, but I also love the fact you're saying like, I want to have a leader in each market, and then all you do is empower that leader to be the local
right,
expert in the market and help that person grow. So that
right,
is actually a really, really solid plan when you think about it. But if you're going to put effort in and you're going to start off doing this and you really, really dig in, stay home first, right? I
yeah,
see people like, well, I want to open and do some sales in another market. And I'm like, no, it's because it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = 2 distractions. And you end up with like 0.8
right,
time. So it's a matter of aligning those so that they actually complement each other versus distract each other. So
yeah,
stay home first, nail home first. You got plenty of agents in your current market.
yeah. That's true. That's true. And I always advise kind of the same thing for any new agents joining up is get to know where you are first and get to know it really, really well before you try to take it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because I've had it where agents come to me from other countries through social media or whatever, and they think about joining, they want to join, and they're like, oh, how does it work? I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know how it is in Mexico. Is it say the same as Spain? I have no idea. They speak the same language. That's about as far as I can get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but I love the part that you still treat it like a business. You know, when you
oh
were
yeah,
starting the production side of your real estate business, you had a plan, you had a business plan, you were very purposeful in what you were doing, and there was a path. You could see a path. I think where a lot of people miss on agent attraction is they don't treat it the same way. You know, so
not
when
a
I'm hearing you, Ian, saying, "Hey, this is what my plan is," you're very purposeful in who you're trying to go after, what
right,
holes you're trying to fill, and what you're trying to accomplish, and then put leadership to make sure that you nurture those people.
right.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
brilliant plan. That is a recipe for success. I mean, that's it. That's it in a nutshell.
Well, I
Really
think
good,
that
really good.
the intentional being intentional, right?
Yeah.
Versus just be like, I'm just gonna just wing this along the edges. Like be really intentional, get really specific on what you are. I was just writing a chapter of a book, writing a book, by the way. And in the chapter of the book, we're talking about leadership and getting really clear who you are as a leader and what you are really wanting to do and what you're providing and who you are and what you are. The more clear we are on who we are, the easier it is for us to find the people that are attracted to that, right? Like there's certain types of fish that bite certain types of bait, just the way it works, right? So you don't want to be the one size fits all bait style because like the real awesome ones are going to go after specific stuff. And that's what we got to make sure we're really clear on what we are and how we offer. So I love the fact that you have something unique, Ian, and that you have an offer that can actually be like very brand neutral in that regard. You put it out to the market and then people say, hey, let's talk about this more. And that's one of my favorite things in the world.
And also, just to kind of play off of that, getting to know yourself as a leader to attract those kind of people, whatever. I think in my case, also, it was super important to get to know Jason really well, because if he can offer something that I can't, we can use that for agents to want to join. So, like you said, Frank, this isn't a hobby. I'm not just kind of doing this to see what happens. I really genuinely want to help people. And if I can't do something for someone, let's just say because they're in the US and I'm not, well, then I've got my friend Jason over here who wants to also help that person come on board and also wants to help them and nurture them, because it all ties together. It all ties in. So, not just me, but also my senior partners in this case. Get to know them, where they can help, and where to plug them into.
Yeah, there's one thing I know about Jason. He comes from a place of selflessness. He's a giver, and
Yeah.
he's really in it for the right reasons. And I think that's why, Jason, you're having so much success that you're having.
Thank you, Frank. And you just what Ian's talking, it's straight up collaboration. It's a business partner that he's running internationally in Spain, and I get to run over here. And then if we're in different countries, cool. How do we open those doors? And it's the methods, the systems, the ways that we have to connect. That's where my mind just opens up, and I'm just like, man, we could reach out to the broker of record of Mexico or France or wherever we need to go, Dubai, you name it. We could get there and get more assistance if needed. And I love that. And that's the partnerships and the people I continually want to be around, so I can help Ian in that manner. I could help Jesus in Portugal. I could help all these other guys and girls that we have at any time. And I love that piece.
Yeah, really good. So, Russ, go ahead. You're about to say something.
Yeah, I think I think really when you start to look at things like when we talk about residential real estate sales, it's becoming much more hyper local. And I think with agent attraction, kind of the borders are get blown completely out. So instead of being like hyper local, then area, then region, then country, then other countries, and really it's a border attraction can be borderless because you never know who you're going to meet and where you're going to meet them. I mean, you guys know, you guys both work at bars. So you go somewhere for a drink, you look over and it's like, hey, what do you do? It's like, I'm a realtor. Like, I'm in Jamaica, right? Like, of course there's a realtor at the bar in Jamaica, right? So it's being able to make those connections when you're out of town. It literally becomes borderless, and it's kind of fascinating, more so than even house sales. I mean, there's house sales that do multiple states. I worked out of Michigan and Florida for a bunch of years, and that's actually a challenge. It's a great way to destroy your business because you half-ass both sides, and then things peter out. But with this, you can actually do full throttle, full contact, high value, high intensity, and you don't have to be local, which is just kind of mind-boggling, really. International. So
And
Jason,
that's the thing I love about this with these guys is, it's one thing to talk about it, and then it's another thing to be about it.
Right.
When you have two people that can get on a call with someone and show, hey, look, these are the possibilities. I'm here, he's there. We're not just sitting there telling you it's a pipe dream. This is a reality that we live, and this is how I am blowing my brand up, literally internationally. And to think about that, I mean, I'm in Delaware. Try to hold your guys' jealousy back. I know you dying to get here because there's so much going on in Delaware. But my little state, strong but mighty. Within 3 weeks of being here, I brought on a partner from I was co-broking on a referral for somebody in California who actually lived in India. His dad had a commercial brokerage in India who I went on to bring over. So, for me, and I'm 30 years in the business, and like I said, it's a little boring ass state. That's terrible. But if I could have a partner, if you would have told me when I was starting real estate, whatever, that these kinds of opportunities were out there, I would say you're crazy. It's just too small-minded thinking, and never in a million years could I have a partner internationally.
Internationally,
So to be able to talk about it's huge, and to see what you two are doing is really inspirational. And I'm glad you guys leveraged that. That's awesome.
And what do you guys have as far as a number goal? Like, how many people are you trying to add? Like, do you have like monthly goal? Do you have weekly goal? Do you have like what type of metrics do you guys put on this thing? It's like, I want to hit X number by this date. I'm sure you guys got to have something on that. What are you looking at,
Jason?
We're both very goal oriented. So once we hit the fourth quarter of every year, we're like, all right, what's our goal for next year?
Yep.
How are we going to get there? And what do we need to do to team up to help each other? Yep. Iain spoke earlier about senior partners. That's something that is very valuable to both of us, is our senior business partners that we can rely on and say, hey, can you jump on a 3-way, 4-way call with us just to collaborate and help us talk to some of these leaders that we are interested in. So it all begins with goals. And once we have those goals, and then we are usually, we literally are talking every day and we're checking in. What do you got going on this week? What's happening? Hey, I got movement here. I got this. And so we're given our results. We're checking in with each other. We're holding each other accountable. And, sometimes it goes the ebbs and flows, just like real estate. So it says, all right, cool. Well, let's scratch. First quarter wasn't very good. All right, so now let's take those numbers and let's recalculate for the next 3 quarters. Yeah. And boom, let's hit those numbers. I've got a big whiteboard in my office, so I keep all my numbers right in front of me so I could see them. It's right over my computer screen. So it works for me. I need to see that stuff. And then I even write down Ian's numbers because I know they're important to him. So I want to make sure I can help him and say, man, hey, you said you wanted to do 20 this year. Where are you at? You're at 18. All right, let's see he's at. That's what works for me.
Fantastic. Iain.
Yeah, similar. I kind of set kind of quarterly goals. They're more like milestones. I'd like to hit X amount by this time, and I kind of do it quarterly, and then I do chunk it down weekly. I recommend the 12-hour work week. No, the 12-week year. Sorry,
12-week year.
I'm trying to get that 12-hour work week also, by the way.
I was looking just to my left.
I'm trying.
Work week.
That's exactly what I was. I got the book, The 4-Hour Work Week, sitting right next to me, and it jumbled up together. But so I do chunk it down to make it manageable, and then kind of assess. Like, okay, so I've done this for 4 weeks now. What's going on? Do I need to do more? Do I need to do more? Like, what's happening? And then also another cool part of this, and I've said this to Jason before, is my mission is your mission, because if he wants to hit 100 agents, well, my 20 are included in that 100. The more I get, the more he gets.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's why that was one of the intentional things that really flipped the switch for me when it came to attraction, was making my mission his mission. He said that when he hits a certain number, he's going to fly out to Spain and see me in person. And if I reach my goal before he does,
he's going to fly out to Spain and crack the whip and make you double it the next time. I mean, like, why even work at that point? We just buy Ian and put a saddle on him and ride him around Spain.
Right.
He doesn't know that part yet, Russ. I only told him, hey, let's get to the number. Let me get there.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's the American way to do it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I won't tell you how the Scots do it.
Corey piggyback rides everywhere.
But
With
Well,
a beer
guys,
in
it
hand.
was a great 30 minutes. Really good information you gave us. Really appreciate it. And I think, again, I think it's inspirational to see that it can happen. And I
Yeah.
think that the bigger we think the world is, the smaller it actually is. And, when we're facing all the same obstacles and the same goals, and we're just people trying to make it, when you work together, it's much stronger. And I think you showed that. So I know for me, my last words are thank you so much. Thanks for showing people that anything's possible, and that it's not really a dream. But if you work at it and you have the accountability piece and the focus, it can happen for anybody. Russ?
You got a boy from Indiana meets a Scot from Spain. I mean, what more could you ask for? This has got the makings of a book, right? So
Sounds
I
like a
think
joke.
the moral of the story is like just get out there, right? Get out there and connect and add value to people. Keep
Yeah.
your eyes open and don't be afraid to break down the borders. Like the sky's the limit, the world's the limit.
Yep.
Start hyper local and then just spread out and be open to anything happening. And man, it's amazing. Like we used to get really specific on what I wanted. And now I'm like, here's the feel of what I want. And it comes to me in a lot wilder, more entertaining. Well, I didn't see it coming like that. I like that though. That's cool because it's got the feel that I was going for. So be open to that, and you'll find you're going to see a lot more come into your life. So thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate both of you being here. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon. Jason, we'll see you really soon in Miami.
Sounds
Thank you,
great.
fellas.